Hello everyone, welcome to another Ismono podcast. And today I have with me Klint from The Perfect Bag. And welcome Klint. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially everyone. Please thumbs up for Klint for waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to join me on this podcast. So the MVP on this podcast, definitely.
Bo, thank you. It is a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
How are you, by the way?
I'm doing fantastic. And viewers of my channel may know that I work in the coffee industry. That's my full-time job. So 9 a.m. is actually sleeping in for this guy. The normal wake up is 5. So we're good to go.
Yeah, definitely thumbs up for Klint. So, but probably many of you probably know, the ones who are listening to this podcast probably know you, but still, could you introduce yourself a little bit and a little bit about your channel?
Yeah, definitely. So my name's Klint, Klint with a K. You probably just see it in some kind of icon or subtitle down there. But yeah, I've got a couple of YouTube channels. The one that I think most people know me from is called The Perfect Bag, and it's a backpack review. And I hate to say the word review because I really don't review bags. It's more of a walkthrough channel, but nobody would ever find the channel in Google if I didn't say review. So it's more of a bag walkthrough channel. And then my other main channel is, I've got like 5 channels because I love to just mess around with YouTube and creation. But my other main channel is a travel channel. And so it is, I do virtual walks in cities and forests and hikes. And so I'm the dude out there with the gimbal walking around. And that channel came first. But a lot of people will know me from that channel. It's called The Perfect Walk. And then the bag channel is called The Perfect Bag. And hello to all of Bo's viewers who don't know me. Nice to meet you.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. So you visit cities, and then do you just film the city that you're in, or also are you also giving like a tour of the places that you visit, so kind of vlog style, or what kind of videos are those?
Yeah, I do both. There's kind of 3 styles. One is live streaming, and so that's me walking in a place and interacting with my viewers and saying, amazing. Chatting with them, and they're saying, hey, go left, go look at that thing over there. And so we go look at that thing over there. And that's a lot of fun. That's actually kind of what inspired me to get into YouTube in the first place is right at the start of the pandemic, I had to cancel a trip to Tokyo, which ticked me off to no end. I was very upset about it. But I found a YouTube channel with a Swedish gentleman who lived in Tokyo, and he had a channel called Tokyo Explorer. Shout out to Tokyo Explorer. I just got hooked. I got hooked on him walking and talking. And it was less about Tokyo and more about, chatting and exploring and life, and got into philosophical discussions. And so really enjoyed that format. And I said one day, you know what? I'm going to try it. I picked up my gimbal, got my iPhone, and walked around my hometown, Lexington, Kentucky. And I thought for the life of me, like, nobody's going to want to see this. Nobody's going to give a crap about Lexington, Kentucky. And it was a hit. People loved it. And, a hit is, scalable, right? It was a hit for me. There was more than one person who watched it.
But that's amazing.
I had a lot of fun. So live streaming walks. And then I do also, some of my most popular videos on that channel are just what I would call silent walks, where I walk through a place and do a tour. So I think my most popular video is a tour of the the Atlanta Aquarium. It's, I think, the second largest aquarium in the world. And teachers use it in their classroom. It's like a virtual tour. I've got Japanese gardens. I've got aquariums, zoos, historic places, hikes in the woods. And I've had people who are disabled share with me that the videos mean a lot to them. I've had people who are looking up their old hometown or where their dad came from or that kind of thing. And I try to get as much variety in that channel as possible. So it's not just like New York City. It's Watkins Glen Gorge, state parks, hikes, small towns, historic sites like Roman Colosseums.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then there's other videos where it's just me, kind of a hybrid there where I'm walking and talking. I just did a whole series in Iceland. I just got back from Iceland. And so right now on the channel, I've got like 50 videos that are premiering of me kind of exploring Iceland and talking to the camera, but not live because there was no cell phone signal.
I think
but a lot of fun.
That's amazing because I think on one hand, it is fairly easy for you probably to produce because I would assume you don't edit it because you want to give the viewer the most realistic representation of that walk. So you probably don't edit it at all. And
zero.
Yeah. And what I like about it, because I actually used a similar style video on my trip to Thailand. I wanted to know how the airport is like. So I was looking for the Chiang Mai airport and I actually found a video that was just also the Qatar airport. Because I kind of wanted to see how the walkways are. And I found that type of video and I found it so helpful. So that's so cool that you do those kind of videos as well.
Yeah. And I will tell you, part of this is probably the biggest distinction between your channel and my channel and your approach to creation and my approach to creation. I never edit anything. Nothing. Yeah. I don't edit. So I have a gaming channel. I don't edit that. I have my travel channel. I don't edit that. I have my bag channel. I've branded my lack of workflow on that. I do one take bag reviews and I don't edit anything. Like I chop off the part where I walk up to the desk and I chop off the part where I walk away from the desk to turn off the camera. No other edits. I even leave my mistakes in there. I like that. So that's it. On one hand, it could be considered, I guess, lazy or lack of polish. And I frequently get comments where people are like, buy a mic, you idiot. Or what's going on with your lighting? I mean, just compare. I'm not sure how we'll be configured here, but viewers, check out Bo's amazing lighting and check out the very intentional lighting work. And I'm just in my house and this amazing lighting is coming from my ceiling fan. So it's intentional, but I also recognize that what I'm good at is not video editing. I can frame a shot. I do photography as a hobby. I can frame a shot, but what I'm good at is looking straight at the camera and talking for hours. Some of my walks are 3 hours long and I can talk to the camera for hours and hours and hours. And at least in my opinion, remain interesting or engaging across that time.
Honestly, I mean, I always notice when someone is very fluent in the way they talk, and I didn't notice one or pause for the 8 minutes that we were talking. So you're doing a great job. You don't need to edit. I mean, I needed to edit my videos because there were so many in there. I had to think about what I'm saying. So the editing style came from the need to edit all of my mistakes out, right? Because this is obviously my second language. And therefore, in the beginning, it was so hard and I had to edit a lot. And I feel like you hit a niche, or not a niche, a style of video that is coming up back again because people really are kind of tired of this highly edited Mr. Beast style videos. And I heard it so many times that silent vlogs where the cuts are very long, or the rise of streams. There's no edit as well. People want to see a person much longer and have a more intimate connection to that person. And I think you hit the niche with that pretty well. So I applaud you for doing that style.
It's appreciated. And I think, if you're talking about, the bag channel, it's now the main channel, it's almost doubled the subscribers of the walking channel. The walking channel was intended to be the main channel. I had this vision of myself, renting a van and, living out of it and making money off of a YouTube channel. That did not pan out. But the bag channel is now twice as big. And I think it's really important because the whole reason to watch my channel, I think that's important to know. What's the reason why somebody should watch your channel? Why you know, a one-off viewer that just Googles like, I want to Google this VanQuest AdX backpack. Should I buy it or not? Okay, that's a one-time viewer. If you're going to have a returning viewer to a channel that's about products, soft goods, gear, software or hardware or whatever, if you're going to have a returning viewer, there has to be a reason to come to the channel.
Exactly.
And, it's going to either be, the personality or the visual style that you identify with. For my channel, I think the hook has been, will always be authenticity. And it's, for that reason, I've kind of laid out some ground rules for the channel. I don't do affiliate programs at all. I don't make any money from a bag maker ever. I never will take money from a bag maker. Of course, that limits the ability of me to actually make a living off of YouTube. It ain't going to happen.
By the way, I watched your video that you posted, I think a week ago, with your ethics statement and stuff like that.
Yes.
Really good. Really, really good. I like everything that you said in that video a lot.
Thanks. And I think it's impractical, right? Because I think a lot of people are actually trying to make a living as a creator. And I've got the luxury of having a good career that I've built outside of this, and the luxury that this can be a hobby for me. But I think that luxury can turn into a boon for my viewers in that they know that they can come here and listen to me talk about bags, which I geek out on. Like, that's why I consider myself not really a reviewer. I'm not an industry expert. I'm just a guy who loves bags. And
I would, if I can interrupt you, I would say you're kind of like I think the best way to kind of describe you is maybe like a restaurant reviewer, where it's more about the opinion of that person and not necessarily like a scientific review. So you're like a bag connoisseur that kind of tests out this and gives his personal opinion of that taste. So
I like that. And I also think that's important because, the minute a restaurant reviewer gets, 10% if you go in and buy the Big Mac, then why pay attention to the restaurant reviewer? And I think, by the way, the audience of every reviewer since the dawn of the internet understands the affiliate marketing, game. They get it, and everybody's okay with it. And so, I think I walk a fine line because I've got a lot of friends who do bag reviews and do gear reviews, and I respect the hell out of them. And so no shade at the way that affiliate marketing works, but it is the hook for my channel. And so I've got to keep saying it out loud over and over and over and over again. And to your point, I think that, what I do is kind of an exploration of bags, and even the entire framework of my videos, 2 things I like, 2 things I don't like. It sets up for just me to stream of conscious share, this pocket sucks, and, these straps are good. And I think this zipper clangs around too much. And I try to avoid technical jargon as much as possible.
Same.
And I try to, I remember one of your videos I watched early on was a North Face bag. And you put it on, you were like, I feel like I look like a turtle when I wear this. And I was like,
I know exactly which one it was.
Yeah. So it's that kind of like real talk when it's you and a viewer talking about it in the same way, like if you were sitting at the bar having a beer and saying, how do you like that bag? and that kind of level of conversation.
I think it totally resonated when I watched your video. I know exactly what you mean. I had the same feeling in the beginning in regards to affiliate marketing, where I thought like, oh, it kind of biases a reviewer. But then at some degree, I started doing affiliate links on my channel as well. But I tried to even more. I did that in the beginning anyways, where I concentrated on negatives, but I kind of nailed down on it even stronger right now because I have affiliate links, that I concentrate as much as possible on the negatives. And before I went to Thailand, I was actually looking for a review for an eSIM provider. And I found this one provider where I was not able to find a proper review. All of the reviews, or so-called reviews, were only pushing affiliate marketing links. And I was so pissed off at that, where I was like, don't call it a review then. If you just want to promote your affiliate marketing link, then just call it, I don't know, a showcase of that product or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why your video and your philosophy about affiliate marketing link resonated so much with me, because on one hand I had the same approach in the beginning, then I kind of pivoted a little bit, but now 2 weeks ago I saw these reviews with just affiliate links and I was really pissed off at that. So yeah, I really applaud you for publishing that video. That was really good.
Right. The other problem with affiliate marketing is that it reduces the overall variety of content that's being produced, because there are many companies, no matter what industry, like if we were talking about tech, or if we were talking about software, or if we were talking about bags, in this case we're talking about bags, there's not as much incentive for those who have built a channel around affiliate marketing, or most people, I don't think, intentionally do that. I think it grows up over time and you realize, oh my God, look at this income stream. It reduces, like, this is Pacolab from Ukraine, and you don't see, and this is Green Room 136 from Malaysia, and this is Azo Equipment. Like, none of those companies have affiliate marketing programs or links that I can use. And so you don't see as much content out there about some of these makers. This is a used, I'm not even sure if this is in frame, this is a used JanSport bag. I think it's the best looking bag, period, that's ever been produced. And you're just not going to see content about some of that stuff because there is no profit model besides the YouTube view. And as you know, the YouTube view doesn't pay you well. And so you have to supplement to make income. But I think that's the downside of affiliate marketing, is it funnels the content towards the lucrative programs, even when the reviewers are absolutely doing their best to reduce bias and present an honest take. It funnels the content towards, Alpaca, Bellroy, Evergoods, GoRuck, etc.
Yeah, I get that. I think that is a very fair point. Unfortunately, I think there is also a different side to it as well, because as far as I can tell from my videos, if it's a bag that not many people know of, it's really hard to get any views on that. That is so annoying, which is basically the reason why I kind of try to pivot my content into a different approach, where I don't know if you know the channel Linus Tech Tips, or
definitely,
or Marques Brownlee, right? For me, I have the feeling I kind of want to watch those channels or those videos anyways, although I'm not in the market to buy a PC at any point or to buy a new phone. I just watch them, and so I kind of want to structure my videos, and I feel like your videos are the same way because your content is very personality driven. I kind of want to do the same, where my videos are more in line of maybe to some degree a vlog or something, where it's not necessarily the product that you were looking for, but you hopefully want to watch me do a video. Because I've seen so many bag reviews on my channel where people just didn't know about the bag, so they didn't click on it. And so that's why I kind of tried to pivot away from that it's not about the bag, but hopefully about the video, and I feel like that's the same with your channel.
Yeah, I think, but I'm also, so as a parent, there were times when we would I'm not sure how many of our viewers are parents, probably quite a few of them. Sometimes you try to sneak some vegetables into your kids' food. Like you put some broccoli into the spaghetti sauce. I
hated that when my parents did that.
Right. So you sneak the vegetables. So yes, and I'm trying to make like this candy corn style video review where it's so predictable. At the start of the video, I'm like, boom, and we we bring the energy and we dive right into, and everybody knows, oh, I'm going to get a walkthrough, then I'm going to get some like things that are awesome, some things that are not good. You know, Clint's going to joke around, but I'm also, I really do love the bag industry, and I really do love bags, and I want viewers. So the vegetables I'm sneaking in is I'm bringing in this entertaining format, like all kinds of used bags, vintage bags, stories. Like I've got a video about a Japanese bag designer, Koichi Yamaguchi, who really moved the entire industry forward. He worked for 6 or 7 different design studios in Japan. And I really do study this stuff. I really do geek out on bags, bag design. I present it in the most approachable way that I possibly can, but I am trying to bring unique makers, interesting design decisions, interesting like dog legs in the history. Like even if, you know, it ended up going nowhere, I've got a bag up here. It's way out of frame. It's from Dakine, and they're a snowboarding company.
Yeah. My very first bag when I was younger was yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is totally unprofessional. I'm going to stand up and grab the bag.
Of course. Dude, I mean, you can still hear me, right? You have your headphones.
Yeah.
You know, I have to smile all the way because the more you talk and the more I think about it, the more I think you are like a restaurant reviewer. Because you read the restaurant reviewers' articles not because you were looking for that restaurant, right? Because usually that restaurant reviewer goes to some place that you've never heard of and reviews that. And you're basically the same. You're not knowing of that bag, so you weren't kind of searching for it. So you go to the channel of Klint, the perfect bag, and then you see, oh, that's a bag. Just like a restaurant reviewer. You don't search for that bag. So I think it's so cool.
This one, so Dakine, like you said, one of your first bags. I think a lot of people
that
like
is
Burton
an amazing
Dakine.
Bag.
Look at this. Look at this bag.
That's
so
awesome.
This is they had for about 3 years or 2 years they had an in-house design studio called Workshop, and I frequently say, like, you can see they removed the vowels, so you know it was like really edgy. But they had like 4 bags under this studio. It is like a really modern material. It's got mesh. It's got some. It looks like a
stormtrooper backpack.
Yeah, and they've got all kinds of really interesting materials. There's like X-Pack, and this is years ago before everybody was doing X-Pack, and you can see there's translucent material here. And then I want to show you just some cool stuff about this bag.
That's awesome.
So when you open this up, they've got built-in tech. They've got removable pouches with fidlocks in here.
Wow, that's very progressive. I mean, how old is that bag?
This bag is like 12 years ago.
Wow, that's very progressive then, if that's 12 years ago.
And so the annoying thing for my viewers is, right, you can't buy this. You have to like set up eBay alerts and like try and find it on Mercari. But this kind of thing, this is a 23-liter minimalist tech bag. It was ahead of its time, and
awesome.
It fits the tech of today. Like these are you can use these as bottle pockets. You can drop a battery backup in there, your umbrella in there. Like the design is so cool. There was some lady or dude in a studio who got paid by this, mainstream company to get real edgy and to really push the industry forward. And who knows what they're doing now? I've been trying to find out. But they produced something 1 year that is really special. And if I tell this story, hopefully it can inspire. And this is, those vegetables I'm sneaking into the food. It can inspire people to think creatively about carry and think creatively about bags. And I've got a lot of actual bag makers who watch the channel. Yeah. And we talk all the time about different features and bags that I'm pulling forward that they haven't seen before and sending them pictures of things. So kind of, restaurant reviewer, also kind of bag librarian and archivist and documenting some of what's gone on. And some of this went on before this whole kind of bag ecosystem really kicked up about 7 or 8 years ago, probably with the advent of carryology and some of the new generation of media companies around bags and carry.
Man, that bag looked amazing.
It's so cool.
Really
I bought it,
cool
and I bought it for
bag.
$40. $40.
So cool.
So cool, right?
I really like that fabric, that translucent fabric. That's cool. I would argue that it's probably not as practical, that bag, because with
Totally.
that one organizer pouch, when you put all of your stuff in and then you have to run to your bus, everything kind of jumps out and it's kind of all over the place in that pocket. So I would say it's probably not the best or the most practical bag, but it looked very cool.
Yeah, more of a concept bag.
Yeah, but cool.
Definitely some pieces that kind of could have moved the industry forward, might have moved the industry forward, but fun, I think, when people are towing the edge of design, towing the edge of, what's normal, and thinking ahead about where is design headed.
Now, I would love to know, I have a question for you. Your channel is called The Perfect Bag, right?
That's right.
And I'm not going to put you on the spot to tell me about the perfect bag, but I would love to know what kind of features would a perfect bag need for you?
It's an excellent question. And, I came up with that name. It's so hilarious because people all the time ask me, because there is another site / thing called The Perfect Pack that I had no idea existed. I was not watching bag channels. I have not been shaped by, what else was out there. I wasn't watching it. I actually, the first bag review channel, shout out to this guy. Everybody, go blow up this guy's subscriber count. He's got 400 subscribers. Go blow him up. There's a channel out there called Paul's Product Reviews.
Paul's Product
Reviews. It's just a dude who's got like 14 videos or something. And I was looking for a bag, and I found the Van Quest Adax, which is a 25 liter or 18 liter bag. There's two different sizes. And I was carrying a Maxpedition Jumbo Versa Pack at the time, and I needed something to put my laptop in instead of just my EDC.
Okay.
And so I Googled this Van Quest Adax, and Paul's Product Reviews came up. It's just this dude, looks like he works out, looks like a well put together dude, just talking to the camera at his desk. And if you want to see the inspiration or genesis of my channel, go check out Paul's Product Reviews. He's got like 400 subs. Yeah.
I would check it out.
It's just a dude talking to the camera. And I was like, oh, well, I've got some bags that I like. Let me show off my bags. So, dude, Bo, I forgot the question.
What feature?
I'm downstream. Oh, the perfect bag. I'm sorry.
What features would the perfect bag for you need?
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to ask the question, because the whole name of the channel came from this idea that people come to my channel looking for the perfect bag for them, and they come with a feature list, and they say, it's got to be waterproof, it's got to fit a 17-inch laptop, it's got to, be see-through so I can go to a stadium, and it's got to be, so it like this totally unrealistic list, and does this exist? And usually the answer is no, but you've got these 7 other things that are in the neighborhood. Pick the best one for you. The perfect bag for me, we've got a couple of things going on. I think you've got to have like 5 or 6 bags in a rotation, because there is no bag that does everything. And so I think you can let go of the idea that you're going to have one bag that does everything in your life, because there are days in which, because I've got some bags on the wall behind me that are pretty perfect for me, but not every day. So this one, as an example, I had this one made by Azo Equipment. It cost me $1,000.
Oh, wow.
Which you could say, like, what, you idiot? Because you just showed us a cool bag that cost $40. So this one cost me $1,000, and I actually had them make this one based on the JanSport watchtower. You can see the pocketing on the front of this one. And it's a top loader bag, but it's also, JanSport. So it's kind of poorly constructed and lightweight, and just the straps suck. So an incredible bag, the most asked about bag on my channel, but this is the $1,000 version of that. So this is pretty perfect for me. I don't live in a major city. I don't have to worry about theft. So external pockets for quick access are really practical for me and very useful. And I've got perfectly sized pockets for this moment in time. I've got one for my AirPods. I've got one for my battery backup. I actually had them make the pockets specifically towards what I carry. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's got this admin panel up top here was ripped from the VanQuest AdX. The pocketing was ripped from the JanSport Watchtower. It's got a corduroy laptop sleeve, which I ripped from the Green Room 136 Rainmaker. So I took all the features that I loved most in my bag collection and had them build a bag for me. And it was super annoying for them because I also made them, like, if you open up that bag, every pocket has a different liner. And there's it's earth tones on the outside, but it's really annoying bright colors and camouflage on the inside, all kinds of different materials. There's X-Pac, there's Dyneema, there's all kinds of ridiculousness. It took them like a year and a half to build that bag. So for me, a perfect bag, you can see I've got a lot of unique materials. I enjoy a rewarding tactile experience. I enjoy thick handles. The straps must be great. And then it's got to practically carry what I need. And so I usually have in rotation, I've got about 50 bags that I keep on my wall around this whole room.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that I keep, and the other ones flow through the house and get sold, and kind of the journey continues. But travel bag, EDC sling bag, EDC backpack, larger travel bag, which kind of bounces back and forth between a duffel or a roller, and then a tote bag. And so that's kind of the 5 that are constantly in my rotation. But for everybody, I think the answer to that question is different. What do you carry is whenever somebody comes and asks about bags, it's my first question. What do you carry? Okay,
then let's ask you that question, because that is actually also a question in my list. What's your what do you carry on a day-to-day basis in your EDC bag? And then later on we cover your actual EDC that's either in your pants pockets or in your sling bag. So what's in your backpack? Because that will give us a little bit more of an insight what you potentially need for your backpack. Oh, yeah.
This is what I'm carrying right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I'm carrying right now this week.
Looks like 11 liters of capacity, maybe?
It's a little bit less. It's about 8. Okay. It's a little thinner than it looks.
Okay, so you're probably an iPad user and not a MacBook user.
That's right. Yeah. That's right, yeah. And I carry, whenever I am out and about, an 11-inch iPad Pro in a Magic Keyboard.
Okay.
That is a part of my everyday carry. I have a smaller version without the iPad, and that'll be something like a Camel Chops Mr. Trigger type carry, like a little block sling.
The gimbal, of course, yeah.
Always carry the gimbal, because anywhere I am, if I have an hour for my walk channel, I can create content.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And so, and I've got another channel that is a driving channel. And so I can, anywhere I'm driving to, I can create content.
Yeah, sure.
Anywhere I'm walking, I can create content. And so always got to have my tools on me. And my tools, by the way, I only film on my iPhone, and I edit all my videos on my iPhone. I never use my laptop.
Yeah.
It's all iPad based, or excuse me, iPhone based.
Yeah. Use what you got. I like that.
Sharpie, pocket knife.
I have, as a European, I have to ask, all of the Americans use Sharpies. And when I did a high school year in USA, it was the first time I had a Sharpie in my hand. I was like, oh, this is the one that all of the Americans write with. And then I opened it. They smell terrible.
Oh, just,
Why does anyone use a Sharpie? They smell so strong chemically. I get a headache of that. I've never understood how you can sit at the desk and do like autographs with a Sharpie for 2 hours. I was like, oh, dude, why?
It's intense. I think it's lack of choice, right? And I think more than anything, they last a long time.
That's true.
And
That's true.
most of the alternatives available here in the U.S. They're just cheap.
Yeah,
they're mainly Sharpie knockoffs. So Sharpie's what I grabbed, but really just because when you go to the store to buy a marker, that's what's there.
I see. So Sharpie, then a knife, power
little
bank?
Battery backup.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And again, I try to minimize what I carry, so everything fits in this little satchel. So this one has built-in cords, and it doesn't need a brick.
Yeah, perfect.
And so this charges everything that I own, either a Lightning or a USB-C, and it's a 10,000 mAh. Is that what it is? mAh? Yeah. But cheap knockoff off Amazon. Cost me like $12.
Practical? And probably in some nooks and crannies you can't plug it into the wall, right? Because it is fairly, It doesn't work on all plugs in the wall, right?
It works in every plug in the US. I have to carry something different when I'm international.
Really hard. In some hotel rooms, you don't have much space. You probably have to kind of wiggle it.
Yeah, you got to go find the outlet that will fit the. Yeah,
but that's cool
for sure. What else is it a little first aid kit?
Cool.
Just some Band-Aids and some Tylenol.
Yeah.
My wallet.
Oh, that's a huge wallet.
It is. This is a Green Room 136, and it's just got my cards, which I'm not going to show.
Of course.
And it's got a mustache comb, which is critical carry, and a little pocket tool in there as well, a little Leatherman. And what else do I have here? Reading glasses.
Yeah, we're getting older. I feel
a couple of cords. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and, I see.
So it's fairly minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But okay, that means you would...
Oh, and my AirPods, which I already took out.
Yeah. So you probably... Yeah, that gives me a really good idea of what you need for a perfect bag. So not too big, couple of good slots, compartments, because you are not the kind of person that uses a lot of pouches. Obviously, we saw your boo-boo kit, your med kit, and your wallet. But besides that, you just throw everything in the bag, right? So
yeah, and that's why I like this particular bag. This was in my top 10 last year. But I like this one because of the pocketing, and I like this one because the pocketing is 3-dimensional, and the pockets don't rob space from the main compartment. So I can toss my gimbal in, and it never feels tight or starts pressing up against my body. But again, this is a very unpopular style of bag. This is a satchel, which there is a large percentage of the carry community who look at that and say, it looks too much like a purse for me. But it's like one of the oldest styles of bags in the universe.
Indiana Jones
is a satchel.
Hey. Yeah.
Indiana Jones, the Roman army, like satchel is about as old as it gets in terms of carry.
Of course.
Like backpack and satchel. Put it over your shoulder, carry it. But we're freeing up our hands.
Yeah, but
that's the main point.
The bag that you chose with this kind of sizing you probably never wear a sling bag, I would assume, right? Because that is in line of being able to carry it wherever you want to, because it's not too big.
I do sometimes carry a sling bag. And so, man, these terms are so interchangeable. Like sometimes people say sling and they mean messenger. Sometimes people say sling.
Right. Yeah, for me, sling is like 2 liters.
Totally. Yeah. So just a crossbody chest bag. Yeah. I do like that style of carry. And when I just need, when I'm just running out, I frequently grab that. So when I'm just carrying my wallet, my AirPods, my car keys, a pocket knife, that's about it. And my phone, of course. Then I grab a small crossbody, my go-to. I like the Green Room 136 side keep, which is still not chest bag. But it's a very small crossbody bag. And then I love my Camel Chops Mr. Trigger, which is made out of wax canvas, and it's just buttery smooth. It just feels real nice.
That sounded so much like a food commercial. Buttery smooth.
Buttery smooth. It's a delicious bag. You've got to try it.
All right. So do you put anything in your pockets then? Because that wallet is very big. I assume you never put it in your pocket.
I rarely put anything in my pockets.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. So my favorite bag store in the whole universe is called Motoyama, and it's in Japan. It's in Tokyo. And I go every time I'm in Japan. And I was talking to the salesperson who I like to think we're friends. He probably thinks I'm an annoying American who comes to the store too much. But if he works off of commission, he actually really likes me. I asked him when I was in there last time, I said, what's your favorite bag? Like, you're surrounded by all this goodness because this store is loaded. It's got current stuff, but it's got tons of dead stock from years and years and years of these Japanese incredible bag companies. And so he's surrounded by all this history of bags, and they've got old magazine clippings everywhere. It's just, if you geek out on bags, this place is heaven. And so I asked him, what is your favorite bag? And he chuckles and he pulls his pockets out of his pants and he said, bags. And I was like, touche. I guess, if you work around them all the time, you just, carry the stuff in your pocket. But I rarely carry, every once in a while my phone into my back pocket of my jeans. But yeah, and every once in a while my pocket knife clipped into my front pocket. But phones are too big. Yeah. My wallet's too big. My car keys, when it's not in my bag, I clip them with a carabiner onto my belt loop, which is a terrible look, but practical.
Exactly. So you always have a bag. That's interesting. So what's your...
Yeah, I do.
So speaking of always having a bag, what's your travel style then? Because we talked about how you travel a lot. Are you somewhat of a one bag only traveler, or do you travel with a check-in bag?
I rarely check a bag. So the times that I check a bag, so I just went on this trip to Iceland. That was my most recent international travel. I checked a bag. I checked a bag on that trip because it was a car-based trip. And so when I know that most of my travel in a country is going to be car as opposed to public transportation, then I'll bring a roller bag or a large duffel, and I'll just check it because I'm going to be, tossing it in and out of the car. And my walking around time is basically going to be either that is locked in the trunk or I'm walking into a hotel. And so just practically speaking, the reason not to have a checked bag isn't really about the wait for the thing to come up with that's really not as annoying as people make it out to be. Yeah. The reason not to have a roller bag is because you don't want to drag it around on public transportation or, through cobblestone streets and or just to be spending large amounts of time having to be responsible for this giant thing that you didn't really need. But I also, when I travel, not for work, but when I travel personally, I'm a total slob. And what I mean by that is I'm bringing one pair of jeans and one pair of shoes and just changes of shirts and underwear and socks. Yeah. And I don't need much to survive. And so once you get to that place of, because I do a lot of solo travel too. And it's just me and filming content and exploring. And so usually a big old giant backpack and a sling bag or crossbody bag. Ignore brand names, but kind of how you would see me out there would be with an Air Travel Pack 3 and then a Day Sling Max 3 across my chest. That kind of style of carry where you got one big bag that has just all your clothes in some packing cubes or not in some packing cubes, depending on the bag. And then one sling that is your city carry. You get to the hotel or the Airbnb, you just throw your shit in the room, grab your sling, and just go hit the city.
I like that. I like that a lot. It makes a lot of sense. I've never been able to travel with just one bag before. I tried it, but I want to do it definitely more to just travel with one bag. It's definitely much easier.
Try to get yourself, so there's a couple of bags that, and one of them I'm about to review. Hold on. Let me grab this. This is one you can try. And if you're fast, you can do the review before I do. This is from a brand that is much better known in Europe than it is in the US, actually. This is Decathlon.
Oh, so, Decathlon.
Yeah, it's Decathlon. Oh. But the bag is 4-class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 4-class. But it's a travel bag.
But how's the quality? Is it good?
It's insanely good.
Really?
And it's only $99. And I've had some Decathlon bags that feel like they're just terrible.
Yeah.
But what's cool about this one, and why you might like it if you normally don't carry a backpack, is it's got this kind of suitcase style opening.
Yeah.
Where it's like a suitcase, but it's on your back, and then it's got the quick access pocket, and it's got the laptop section back here.
Yeah.
So and it's got a massive drink pocket, like a massive stretchy drink pocket. It's a 40-liter travel backpack that is, I haven't tested it yet, clearly. So review will come after I actually use the thing, but it's $99 US, and it's great. My initial impressions are, wow, that looks much more useful than some of these $300 travel backpacks I've used.
Honestly, the Decathlon in Europe overall has somewhat of the perception of, I don't want to say cheap, but rather the budget-friendly options that not necessarily hold up a very long time.
Yeah.
So that's the perception that people have of that brand. So but that's interesting. I will definitely check it out. There is actually a Decathlon in Hamburg. Maybe I should go there. I've never been inside, so I only know the perception. So I'm not. Don't quote me on that if they are.
I see this. You've got a whole video here, like a visit to Decathlon. What can I get a quality bag for under €100?
That's interesting. So cool that you tried out that. But did you buy it when you were here in Europe, or are Decathlon also available in the US?
Yeah, they've got a US website, so I bought it off. Yeah, I bought it off. I was actually looking. I talked to a lady who had. So you never see Decathlon bags in the US. You just never, ever see them. Because the cheap bags here are the ones that people are just, buying at Walmart and Target. And it's just not, and there's no brick and mortar Decathlon store. So you have to know about Decathlon. So I saw a lady with a Decathlon bag, and so I'm not shy at all. I ran up to her and said, where did you get that? Where'd you get your bag? And she said she bought it when she was in England, and she bought it for $5. And like, that's Decathlon, right? It's like it's like a really thin bag that is at an unbelievable price, and maybe might not last till next week if you put the wrong thing in it. But she loved it, and it was a funky color, looked like a hiking bag, and she loved it, and it was $5, and she loved that I asked about it. But that made me go on, because I said, okay, well, I wonder, like, it would be a great video if I bought a $5 backpack and used it and put it, like, torture tested it a little bit, like overloaded it. Would it last? Can you, like, this is a popular bag in Europe, does it hold up? But when I was on there, I was like, oh, wait a minute, what's that?
Let's spend more money.
It looked really, really cool. Because one of my favorite travel backpacks ever is from Cotopaxi, and it's called the Alpa. And it's, I mean, honestly, it looks a lot like that bag, but it's $150 more. And I love that bag. And so I said, okay, I've got to get this bag, and I've got to do a comparison between these, because it's by no means a knockoff, but it's a similar style. It's soft. It's a soft, floppier bag that butterflies open. So I'm curious. I'm curious to try it. I'm going to use it on my next trip and see how it goes and see if it holds up.
I fingers crossed that it holds up. Nothing is worse than traveling and then the bag breaks.
Yep. I've had a couple of those where I've been testing a bag to see how it goes, and then turns out not so well. Like, I had a roller bag that the wheel popped off, and like that kind of nonsense. And if you're playing around in the fringes of lower priced items, you'll get some of that failure stuff going on. Yep.
I mean, that's not the worst. I think the worst is if a zipper breaks.
Oh, zipper blowout is the worst. You are 100% right.
That could happen. You're basically fucked. you can't close your bag anymore, then what are you supposed to do? That's not much that you can do.
No, then you're buying a new bag at an accelerated price wherever you are.
Yeah, or at the airport. That would be the worst case.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. Yep. Buy like a remover bag at the airport for twice the price of a retail store or whatever.
That is weird that people sell bags at the airport. There's always a bag store at the airport. Like, how did you? Yeah. I guess it's only there for people who are frustrated with their current bag.
No, I know a friend of mine many years ago told me because he bought those aluminum remover bags, those that all of the pilots carry. He told me that those bags have a lifetime warranty where you can go to any store of remover to repair that on the spot. And I believe that is the reason why there are so many remover stores at airports, so that a pilot or whatever can go. I'm not sure if that's fact, but he specifically bought his remover
warranty
bag.
The warranty is real. And you better for what they charge. Like you could get a used car for what they charge for that bag.
Yeah, it's expensive. Speaking of, what's your favorite purchase of the last 12 months, and not the bag that you spent $1,000 on?
Yeah, not that one. And that's actually not my favorite purchase. Okay.
And it doesn't have to be a bag, by the way.
That's questionable. So I guess my favorite purchase is always travel. Cool. There's nothing I spend money on that brings me as much joy as travel.
Yeah.
Period. Like there is nothing, and just viewers, spend your money on travel. Yeah. It's that is the most meaningful thing that my money goes towards. If we are talking bags, probably my favorite purchase. Hold on, I'll just grab it. Viewers, sorry about that. You're just going to have to deal with me wandering around my room and
we can hear you. That's
pulling things out of the archives.
Oh wow, what's that?
This is I mentioned Koichi Yamaguchi earlier.
It looks great. I like the colors.
This is from his brand called Steel Buffalo. This brand died off like 12 years ago. He's retired.
Okay.
But this is a Steel Buffalo limited edition. It was from their Yellowstone series. And it is just gorgeous and just a super modern bag, well ahead of its time. So my favorite bags are my Japanese bags, inspired by Koichi Yamaguchi or directly constructed and made by him. And even one of my most recent biggest videos in terms of performance has been of this little tote bag. This is from Harvest Label. And Harvest Label is a company that was co-founded by Koichi Yamaguchi. He's no longer associated with them, but they're still heavily inspired by him from a design perspective. Very, very militaria, and very
such an
funky,
amazing collection.
Textures.
Your collection is amazing.
It's why I think of myself more as like an archivist. I like the history. I like to see the evolution over time of bag design, and I like to see how tech interacts with bags, and how over time what we carry changes the shape of what we carry.
You know what you need to do?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You should make a website just with your bags and just with pictures of the bags, because I think you have such an amazing collection. Just one picture from the front, one picture of inside, that's it. And then just have a website just with all of those bags. That would be so cool.
Oh, that sounds like so much work. That sounds like so much work.
It is. But you have to do it, not me.
Man, that sounds hard. I'm probably not going to make a website like that. But I folks, if you want to see funky bags, certainly the channel, but also
to Perfect Bag.
Instagram's a great place. I do put a lot of weird bags up on Instagram all the time.
So
it's
cool.
Klint from YouTube on Instagram. But I like kind of bag esoterica. I like weird stuff. I like weird fabrics. I like kind of evolutionary dead ends in bag design, things that are impractical, things that were experimental. I like popular stuff too, but I'm more into the weird. Like my favorite color of bag is anything but black.
Same.
I don't
Same.
like. Good God, stop it with the black bags. Stop it. And I understand the practicality of it, but
that's the market.
I work in an industry where I don't have to be practical, so I'm sure as hell not going to be. I don't own a tie, like a single tie in my life. I don't wear anything that's not jeans and a casual shirt. It's a lifestyle choice that's important to me. But this, like, I like funky crap, and I like to document funky crap.
I like that. So, what's your next investment? What's the next bag that you're really looking forward to get?
So I've got a couple of collaborations coming, and so I'm most excited over the next year about those collaborations. I can't share a lot of details about them, but when I do a collaboration with a bag maker, I have to stick to my guns on my commitment to not make money from the partnership. And so when these bags come, and one of them is a sling bag, one of them,
you have a collaboration. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
So they're coming. I've got 5 in the works.
Wow.
I've got a small crossbody, a larger sling bag, a messenger style bag, and a backpack, and a TBD. And so those are in the works. And when they happen, I'm excited about sharing them because they are true partnerships, bringing to life stuff that should exist, stuff that could exist.
Yeah.
And a little experimental, living on kind of the edges of popularity. So they'll be limited edition because there might be limited appeal, and funky colorways because, or funky materials, because just plain black is boring.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
in every case, as those collaborations roll out, a percentage of the money that normally would go to me if I was, if I was taking money from these things, that'll go to charity. So every time that we do a collaboration, I won't get any money from it at all, except for people watching my videos.
Yeah. That's cool.
And that portion of money will be donated to charity. When I did my collaboration with Sea Tactical, we were able to raise multiple thousands of dollars for Operation Smile to help provide dental care for children who couldn't access dental care. So cool stuff.
That's amazing. So is your main goal in doing these types of collaborations to do more charity work, or are you actually also considering getting into the business of potentially doing a backpack or a bag at some point, just like Aaron from Nomads Nation? Are you kind of considering making a bag yourself in the future?
I'm not. I'm not. You never know what the future holds. So I never say never. But I'm not considering that at all. My main goal, and it's actually my main goal is not the charity either. I just want to make sure that if we don't intentionally give the money to charity, I think that there will always be the question of, didn't you really profit off of that?
Sure.
And so I want to make sure that they know that the cut that normally goes to the co-collaborator is going to charity, and that we document that, and that we, tag the charity in our social media. I want to be very overt in saying, I'm not taking money. I'm not.
I see. Yeah.
And so the main goal is actually to create cool shit. And when I am unburdened by I have lost a lot of money since I started this channel, because I am buying a lot of things that I don't need, to make videos that
I get that.
I'm not making money off this channel. And when I'm freed up from that, it is very freeing. I get to focus on, I get to focus on, making cool shit. And so I love, number one, collaboration. I get to talk to people that I am, I'm doing today. This is cool. I get to talk to people who are into the things that I'm into. I get to, like, I was just on the phone with a bag maker Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And we're working on this collaboration. And like real time, he is showing me 5 other prototypes that he's working on for future bags. And I'm pulling other bags from my collection like I'm doing today and saying, what about a pocket like this? Or what if we, instead of this kind of zipper, what about this? And it's almost like, for me, like a kid who gets to go on the field at a football stadium and like, oh my God, I'm getting to kick a ball here next to my hero. Like that's the joy in it for me, is to create cool shit, but also to get a chance to geek out about bags with people who make bags. Like that's so fun.
That's so cool.
And so that's what I'm most excited about. I'm certainly also, I've got some favorite bag companies out there. And so I'm also very excited about their future project. My absolute favorite, I'm not shy about playing favorites. My absolute favorite is, how do I do this? Green Room 136 from Malaysia. Check them out if you haven't. Everybody,
I really want to review one of their bags.
Amazing. And super cool people. Like really, really cool people. They've got a bag coming out called the By Your Command Quick Draw, where they collaborated with their whole community. Like they sourced ideas for the bag from the whole community. Yeah. And then they whittled it down to what was possible. Like some of the ideas, like they wouldn't work for bags, but they then created that. And then they offered 4 different versions so that everybody got the closest one to the one they wanted.
That's cool.
And like totally cool. And this kind of collaborative process and small shop, small maker. Like my favorite, like this is Boris. He's a dude in Ukraine. And this is Pat's company, Green Room in Malaysia. Like people rather than companies. So I'm really excited when small studios, when individual makers are producing really cool stuff. That's what gets me hyped.
Yeah, and I really like the idea that you kind of collaborate with them, but don't earn money with that, because I always thought about or wanted to kind of collaborate with the bag brand, but I always thought that it would impact my channel too much if I would collaborate with one brand. But the way you do it is not affecting your channel at all, because you can't be biased because you weren't paid anything, and more importantly, you did a good cause with that. So I think that is a really good approach on doing this kind of collaborations. I like that a lot. It's really cool. It's really cool. And I think you and I, we have both in common that we have a job that provides our rent. Yeah. So we have much more.
It changes the game.
Yeah, much more liberty in doing what we're doing. So I like that a lot, how you approach that. That's so cool. All right, I think we are almost at the end. At the end, yeah. I don't want to take up too much of your precious Saturday. I mean, it's your day off, and it was so cool to learn so much about how you approach a channel and how, you look at the bags. I'm going to put this out in the universe now. At some point, I will win the lottery. And then I will travel the world just to visit all of the reviewers, just to look at.
How fun would that be?
And that's look at your collection. I think that's so amazing. That's probably one of the most unique collections that I can remember right now. So many in air quotes unknown brands or very unique brands. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Well, thank you.
Are you considering keeping all of them actually? Because your room would probably explode.
I can't. Right? I've got these hooks on the wall, and the deal I've made with my wife is if I can hang it on the wall, I can keep it. And if I were to pan the camera around, number one, you'd say, "Dude, clean up your room," but you'd also say, "Okay, I see what you're doing," because I've actually put hooks everywhere. Like there's hooks over the door, there's hooks over the TV, there's hooks. Like I got her to commit to, if you can hang it on the wall in this room on these hooks, and then I put the hooks everywhere. So I've got like 55 hooks. So I get to keep about 55 bags, but the other part, so the part of the room that viewers don't see on the channel, everybody sees the bag wall. Over here are the bag stacks. And so a term from libraries. So my stacks are over here, and it's everything that hasn't been reviewed yet. And there are, I kid you not, about 400 bags in the stacks.
Wow.
I've got about 5 years worth of content just in my bag collection over here. So it at 2 videos a week. And so I'm excited that this, I really like making these videos, and I've got
bags. Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought I had too many bags.
I have well too many bags. And I've put some pictures of the stacks up on Instagram. So if you want to see that, you can see that. But it's a lot. It's a lot of bags, and there's more coming in all the time. Of course, I get the same review samples that every reviewer gets. Sometimes I do a review. Sometimes I don't do a review. Sometimes I keep the bag. Sometimes I don't. And I'm always upfront with them. Like, you can send me whatever you want to send me. I won't promise a review. I won't promise a schedule. I won't use an affiliate program. I won't, you feel free to mail me anything you want to mail me. But I may or may not produce content on it. But yeah, I've got so many bags, but I target keeping about 50, 55. And a lot of what I'm keeping is this progression of Japanese bags from this one designer, which, everybody I think has a soft spot. That's my soft spot. Is I'm very into, like, it resonates with me what he did specifically. And I've got, gosh, hold on, I'll grab one more bag and then we can wrap up.
No problem.
So this is the most recent
very
version.
Tactical.
Yeah. This is from Harvest Label. It's called the Flyers 70XX. And this is a very recent version of a design inspired by him. But you can see kind of his language throughout all of these bags, these, different textures, the military. It looks like a kind of a paracord or a paratrooper flight vest. There's all kinds of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's just funky stuff. And it's got, a removable organizer that can turn into a sling bag. Like it just speaks to me. And so I've got a lot that are Koichi Yamaguchi inspired or directly designed by. But that could be a whole nother hour conversation where we geek out on Japanese bags. This was fun, Bo. Thank you, man. Thank you.
It was awesome. And I think what I liked about this conversation so much, it does underline how many different tastes there are. And I really appreciate and like the taste that you have in your bags and in your collection. And for me, we reviewers, depending on no matter how we review or no matter how we style our reviews, it always reminds me of movie reviewers in a way that there is no right or wrong of that review. It comes down to the taste, or especially with bags, of the body size. I know some of my viewers watch me because they know, he's 170 centimeters tall, has about the same build like I do. So I know that if the bag fits on him, then it might fit on me as well. So it is really cool to see how different each of us. I mean, at the moment, we're so many good reviewers, and we are all so different. And it's so cool to see, especially if you compare you and I, we have so different appeals or the types of bags that we like, but we have still so many common things. And I like that a lot. And it's so cool to see that there are so many choices for viewers to see, okay, Klint doesn't like that bag, but maybe if Bo likes it, or vice versa, then it might fit me better. Or, I mean, I'm the guy who likes a lot of pouches. You don't like pouches. So that's I think that's so cool to see the differences.
And I think the commonality is, if you pour this much of your life into this, like we're doing, the commonality, of course, that I think our viewers would get from both of us is we really like this stuff. We really care about this stuff. There's genuine enthusiasm about bags and about carry and about just, you said bags within bags, like the idea of what is necessary, what do you carry with you, what do you bring, how do you carry it, and the tactile pleasure of owning quality things that make your life simpler or better or more enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily quality, but what works for you. Because I mean, just looking at the Decathlon bag, I would argue it's probably not as high quality like the other bags that you own. But if it works, right? So I'm really looking forward to see that video when it's up. That will be very exciting.
I'll shout you out when I make that video. I'll shout you out.
Where are you taking it, by the way? Are you?
I haven't decided. I'm probably bringing it on a road trip to the American Southeast. So probably down to Florida and the Gulf Coast.
Okay, cool. Looking forward to that one. So where can people find you? Or please shout out all of your channels, because I think that could be interesting.
You got it. So we've got The Perfect Walk on YouTube, The Perfect Bag on YouTube, The Perfect Bot, which is a gaming channel if you're into gaming, on YouTube, and then The Perfect Drive on YouTube, which is dash cam videos. So, but really, come check out The Perfect Bag, y'all, if you haven't already. You can hit me up on Instagram, Klint from YouTube. But really importantly, a community we're trying to start right now, and I hope everybody joins, is on Reddit. We started a subreddit. And it is called The Perfect Bag. And there will be it's a great place to talk about bags and geek out on bags. There will be no drops. There will be no marketing. There will be no, I'm not going to cross market stuff from my channel. Yeah. It's just a community to talk about bags. And so if you're interested in joining that, please do. But that's where you'll find me online.
Cool. And I need to ask, I know I'm dragging this out, but I'm so curious. What kind of games do you play on The Perfect Bot?
A couple of games primarily. I'm really into role-playing games, but I don't play those on the channel because I don't know that really translates. I play battleground shooters, and then I also play collectible strategy trading card games. But this is, it's me kind of turning what I love into content. I love travel, so I've got a travel channel. Yeah. I love driving. I've got a driving channel. I love gaming. I've got a gaming channel. I love bags. I got a bag channel.
It's just love cursing at small kids on the battleground.
This is right. I love losing to 8-year-olds in video games. Yeah,
dude, that's why I'm not playing shooter anymore. A, I get motion sickness from first-person shooters, and B, dude, these kids are so good.
The reflexes are just different. They're built different than us for sure.
It's so sad. I love shooting games, but I just can't. I just got too old for it.
But you're a great video editor, so you could make yourself look fantastic.
No, not in oh, you mean take gameplay? I take your gameplay, and then I'm just sitting there with the controller and doing nothing, basically. you know that I don't know if you have siblings. I had a little brother, and when he was smaller, he always wanted to play the game as well. So you give your little brother or your sibling a controller that isn't even plugged in, and he or she is like thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm killing you now," and he's not doing anything basically. But I think,
oh my God, I love it.
We all did that, right? Or was I the only one?
Yep, no, I did it too. Little brother. Yep. Here, you play with this controller.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much, Klint, for your time. And everyone, please subscribe to The Perfect Bag, The Perfect Bot, The Perfect Walk, and The Perfect Drive, and Klint from YouTube on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Was it
you're too kind. This was awesome. It was an absolute pleasure to hang out with you. Super engaging and a lot of fun. And thanks for what you do for the community.
You got it. All right, everyone. We see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.